Hi, Mark Diaz here for 2danimation101.com. In this video, we're gonna talk about the importance of consistency. I'm talking about consistency in two levels. One level, the technical level that everybody can see, is that you have to be able to replicate one drawing again and again by memory. And each time you put it by memory, it has to look almost the same. It has to be consistent. So that's one type of consistency in your drawings. If I draw, for example, a character in profile view, the side view, then if I draw it again, I have to be able to draw exactly the same as I did by memory. Okay, that's one type of consistency. The other type of consistency I'm talking about, and this is probably the hardest for any beginner, is consistency of habit. That is daily action. A lot of students want to get everything perfect from the get-go. Don't do that. Don't be super scared like, oh, my drawing is not perfect. My drawing. Now you know you have a framework and you can know that, hey, it's not perfect, but at least I'm getting 6 of the elements correctly out of the 9, right? Not the 10, the 9. 6 elements, I'm getting it okay, so I'm not that bad. All I need to do is focus on those other 3 elements. Let's say my spacing is wrong, my proportions, and my line cleaning. So, okay, you just work on that little by little. But when I talk about consistency of habit is, okay, here's the thing. If you're starting from 0 and you haven't drawn it, this is just a dream, the very first step, the very first thing you need to do is develop a habit of drawing every day. That's it. Now, if you haven't read, there's this beautiful book by James Clear. The book is called Atomic Habits. I highly recommend it. If you follow his teachings, all you would do is just take a piece of paper, take a pencil, and draw for 5 minutes a day. That's it. Just draw for 5 minutes. It's a challenge we give in an online training. We give an online class. And just draw for 5 minutes every day for 30 days until that becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, then you can expand it to maybe 15 minutes every day, and then 30 minutes, and then 1 hour, until you're drawing every day for around 1 hour at least, right? When you are at that level, it doesn't matter if all your drawings are crap. It doesn't matter, okay? This is important to understand. We're not building the skill, we're building the habit. So when I talk about consistency in drawing, that comes later. The first thing is consistency of action, doing it every day. If out of 7 days, for example, the week has 7 days, if out of 7 days you keep drawing and drawing for 5 days a week, that's also good, right? So the first thing you need to do when you're starting is consistency of action. If you don't have the habit, try drawing every day for 5 minutes. That's it. Don't worry about the quality of your drawings. That comes later. Once you have the habit, now you can start to improve using the 9-element framework to, like, for example, yeah, all your drawings are crap, but at least I'm getting very clean lines. So what happens if you stick with it? If you have the consistency of action. Okay, this is what happens. Take a look at this drawing. We can see that some things are correct and some things are wrong. For example, the placement is okay. The eyes are where they are supposed to be. The cleaning can be improved a little bit because the tracing is not very good. And also the shading can also improve, and a lot of elements. But as you can see, also the angles, right? But this is from a student called Basel. And he kept drawing and drawing. This is the power of consistency of action. Look at what happens. Just pay close attention to this, because this change didn't happen from one day to another. It took like 2 months. Okay? So pay attention to this. This is very important. He started like this, and then he was not only drawing faces, because it can be boring. He would draw faces, and then bodies, and then references, and then face again, and then bodies, and then clothes, and then hair, and then references, and then the face again. So it took like 2 months, and look at this. He started like this, and then he kept drawing and drawing, and look, huge improvement. We still struggling with the proportions, right? Let's see the proportion of this one, for example. It's a little bit long. This one is a little bit better, but the angle of this one is not very good. And actually, this is another example. This should be a little bit steeper. And in general, all of these faces are improving. And the eyes, the eyes are probably the biggest improvement. So he kept drawing and drawing, and then look, this one is almost very good. The only problem is that this eye was positioned a little bit bad, is a little bit above. Look, let's compare. If I draw a line in here, it's a little bit up, but everything else, the placement is looking very interestingly well. Also, the circle of the head should be more like this, right? But in general, you can see the improvement. And finally, this is one of the latest drawings. Look, this one is really good. And you can see how he was measuring with these lines, right? He was calculating the center of this square. You see? So measuring and measuring and measuring, and this one was an exercise of doing it by memory. So as you can see, consistency of action, drawing every day, made him, just look at this. This is how he started, and look what happened in a couple of months by measuring and measuring. Remember, first you measure, then you feel it. Okay, so that's it for this video. Consistency. The first thing is consistency of action. If you're drawing every day, now focus on the next level. Consistency of drawing, which is to be able to repeat something from memory and have it every time the same. Okay, so that's it. In the next video, we're gonna talk about the fundamental errors. Okay, see you there.